Hi viewers, my name is Martin Intifafa Kumoji. This is Real Show on Tikpan TV. We are going to be educating you about health, everything about health, health services around us, what you should do to keep your health, and everything that will let you be comfortable and confident in how you carry yourself when it comes to health matters. We'll be right back after this break.
For weddings, engagements, funerals, and outdoor events, look no further than Tikpan TV Production. We do photo shoot, photo editing, video editing, content creation, TV advertising, graphic designing, motion graphics, music video shoot, and social media live streaming of church services. Are you a man of God and need a platform to be heard on social media? Tikpan Production brings you live telecast of your preachings from our studios on your social media handles. Call 055 77 80365 for bookings or locate Tikpan Studio at Pasa Kwabnana Boo's residence. Tikpan Production, bringing ideas and plans to life.
It's a maiden edition of Rare Health on Tikpan TV. Like I told you before, my name is Martin Intifafa Kumoji. It's a maiden edition, and what are we going to start with? We want to talk about how developmental stages of a child can affect his future behaviors. What do we mean by that? We are all talking about mental health issues. Sometimes you don't understand why a criminal will pull a gun on people. There is a reason. Other times too, you don't know why your boss is so strict. There's a reason. Let's start. When a child is born, especially from the day he is born to 1 year, there's a certain stage around that time we call oral stage. What happens there? This is when the mother has to breastfeed the child. Do you know what can happen if the child doesn't get good breastfeeding? Or maybe they give birth to someone and the person's mother dies. The person becomes an orphan. If that child doesn't get anyone to breastfeed him or her, she doesn't feel bonded to any person. So this child will grow with not trusting anyone at all. The child will grow and wouldn't love people. We're also saying that mothers who stay alive and breastfeed their kids, this child creates a bond. Have you seen a woman breastfeeding before? The mother looks into the eyes of the child, sings, creating a bond. So if there's also another mother who is so busy at work, a career woman, there's breast pump, she always extracts the breast milk down, gives it to the child. The child will get breast milk, but wouldn't get human bonding with people. So this child will grow, doesn't trust anybody, doesn't respect people, doesn't feel for people. So you see what can happen just at that stage. This is what we are talking about. When this child grows, which of them? The one who didn't get that loving care. He or she will grow as a person. But because he didn't get that bonding from a mother who breastfed, this child is going to hate people. There is no love at all. Now, assuming this child is also over breastfed, what is going to happen is that there's what we call oral fixation. And this oral fixation comes when a caring mother, the moment the child cries, she brings the breast. The moment the child cries, she breastfeeds. The child will grow and overtrust people. There's another effect to that. What also happens is this child might grow and cannot stop chewing. So every time something has to be in the mouth. Every time something has to be in the mouth. That is as a child. As she's growing, the mouth should always be busy. So tell me, what keeps the mouth busy? Excessive talking. These people can talk a lot. Because of the chewing habit, they can also develop abnormal eating habits because every time there should be something in the mouth. Worst of it, this child can become an excessive smoker because every time there should be something in the mouth. Those who will go low with it will always be having matchstick in their mouths. Maybe anytime they finish eating, the toothpick will always be there. If you see people like that, try to trace their backgrounds. See their mothers. This is your child. When did you cut breastfeeding? They will tell you they over breastfed. Like, wait there, for 2 years. Those are the kind of people. They also are prone to becoming drunkards because the mouth should always be busy. So you see what over breastfeeding can cause. That is the future of someone who is always giving the child breast milk every time the child cries. Let's go back to those who didn't get it at all. Because this child didn't get love out of breastfeeding, no one breastfed him or her to look at the face. He also doesn't look at people when it's hurting them. They don't have feeling for people. Can we talk about some of them? Armed robbers. When they are on you, it's either your money or your life. Think about it. Who wouldn't love people to that extent? It's only somebody who didn't get that love. Let us not blame them, okay? Because when he was growing, he didn't get love from anybody. Probably he grew up in a foster home, okay? There were plenty there. If they are sharing things, he didn't have a mother or a father who will say, I bought this for you. What happens? When they get donations, okay, these things are for you people. So individually, he never felt that single love from a mother or a father. So he also grow and become selfish. Because when he gets things, he got it out of his struggle, his hustle, not anybody giving him. So he doesn't know how to give. So these people grow and they don't care about people. Those are some of the things that can happen at this oral stage. Don't forget, oral stage from 0 to 1 year. Let's move on. When the child grows from 1 to 3, there's another stage we call ana stage. Ana stage. Now this stage, what happens here? This is what we call toilet training. So if you've had such parents before, early in the morning, they give the child chamber pot. If they don't have, they will just squeeze their leg, create a space in it for the child to sit on. They do this every morning. When you do that, you are toilet training the child. You know what can come out from that? Let's go and hit up and come down. If a child doesn't get a proper toilet training, okay, and maybe he or she is the type who grew up in an environment that when the children get up, they just defecate anywhere at all. You know what will happen? When you enter that person's room, when he or she is 16 and above, you see a difference between someone who had that orderly training. So this person who didn't get that training, you enter his room, books are everywhere, books are everywhere. There is no orderliness. They don't care about things. You tell them things, they don't take it seriously. They are in school, they don't usually obey authorities because they don't know how to follow order. But the one who had a good toilet training, when he or she grows, enter the room and see, they become obsessive of the environment. So those people, when they dry their things and you go and see on the line, okay, the pegs, blue, one side, green, one side, red, one side, orderliness. When you enter his room and remove your slippers, there's a particular place you have to put that slippers. If it doesn't go there, he will pick it gently and put it there because he is trying to be orderly. When it becomes too much, you sit on their bed and get up, they stretch the mattress. They are orderly. Those people, when they become your boss, I cry for you. You know why? They want everything to be done exactly. Now you see, some countries and jurisdictions have taken advantage of this. If they see such a personality, if I open a company and I want things to go well, and I see someone like that, hooray. Because I can rely on that person to control my staff for me. He's going to make sure everything goes in order. Do you get it? So there's an advantage there. But assuming you go and pick somebody who didn't get that good toilet training to come and manage your things, maybe you just run at loss because you come back and things wouldn't be the same. That is the ana stage. So what we want to say here is that if parents are too strict or begin toilet training too early, okay, it is believed that the personality is developed into something like orderliness, rigidness, and also the person becomes very obsessive. They like to be orderly all the time. Let's look at this other stage. It's called the phallic stage or the genital stage. At this stage, the child learns to identify with the sexes. So if she is a girl, there is a rivalry between she and the mother on the father. You know why? She is coming to see the mother as a rival. She has identified the father as the opposite sex. So at that stage, that is from 3 to 6 years. Have you seen baby girls and their daddies before? They are always clinging to their fathers around that time. They don't mind their mothers around that time because they are identifying themselves as I'm a woman and this man, my father, is the opposite sex. They are attracted to sex people. So it continues to the time when the child identifies with the right sex and starts moving with girls. Same with boys too. When they are growing, they see their fathers as rivals. So at that stage, you see the mummies carrying them all the time. And one wrong thing is, if you don't take care, you start bathing with such a child, if maybe you're a mother. You might spoil the boy's future in a whole lot of aspects. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is that when it gets to that stage and you're a woman, be careful you don't bath with your son from that stage. It's something people are ignoring. And if you're a man too, at this stage that we are talking about, you have a daughter, never bath with your daughter. Or you are bathing or you dress in front of your child at around that stage. You are going to create something that will happen in the future. And what are those things that can happen in the future? This child might grow and become a sex addict because the exposure he or she got at that stage was so wrong. So parents, if you are watching this program at that stage, be very careful. If you have a young daughter between 3 to 6 and you're a father, don't dress before the girl. Don't say she's a small girl. No, she is developing. Let me tell you one thing about children. Their brains are like white sheet. Anything you write on sticks for good. Take an A4 sheet, start writing on it. So assuming you write and write and write, get to the middle and realize you have made a mistake. What do? What do we see? You have to crumple that paper, put it in the dustbin. But listen, you can't crumple your child and put him or her in the dustbin. So don't start the mistake at that stage. Don't forget, 3 to 6, genital stage. Don't make a mistake. Now, what can come out of this too is that as the child is growing and identifying him or herself with the sexes, when they get to school and start seeing themselves as girls, okay, they are able to identify and get closer to girls. When they develop themselves as boys, they are able to identify and get closer to boys. But if that closeness becomes too much, the child will grow and is always working with boys. You know what can happen? We've been having issues of homosexuality, gayism, and all that. These are some of the sources. So the child will grow and tell you, for me, I'm only interested in men. I'm a man. The girl will grow and tell you, I'm only interested in girls. It's getting interesting. But you know what? We'll be back after this break. Stay tuned.
For weddings, engagements, funerals, and outdoor events, look no further than Tikpan TV Production. We do photo shoot, photo editing, video editing, content creation, TV advertising, graphic designing, motion graphics, music video shoot, and social media live streaming of church services. Are you a man of God and need a platform to be heard on social media? Tikpan Production brings you live telecast of your preachings from our studios on your social media handles. Call 055 77 80365 for bookings or locate Tikpan Studio at Pasa Kwabnana Bu's residence. Tikpan Production, bringing ideas and plans to life.
Nobody knows that I love you. Yeah. Nobody knows you, my baby. Yeah, I'm a nobody knows that I love you. Nobody knows you, my baby. Yeah, man, the boy last year, me murder the beat. I'm not afraid of nothing. So me do it always straight, you see me. Tikpan TV, say the fact. Tikpan TV, Lieutenant W, straight. Understand? And the boy last Z.
Nobody knows. Yeah.
Welcome back, viewers. It's the maiden edition of Real Health on Tikpan TV. My name once again is Martin Intifafa Kumoji. We have been talking about developmental stages. We want to continue. We go to 3 to 6, where we've come to learn that it's a stage the child identifies his or her sex. So if he's a boy, he's identifying himself as a boy, starts getting rival with a father. Then if it's a girl too, likewise. We want to move from 6 to puberty. What happens here? At this stage, the child begins to understand things. Before, when you should tell the child, wait, I'll give you food, he or she doesn't have patience for that. But from this stage going, the child becomes reasonable. So we have what we call the ego. Now this ego is able to control the child's feelings. That is what will develop you as a human being who thinks about others or who thinks before doing things. In this sense, you see, someone told me something. In tree, he says, "Adrimboni will be a dream." And we know it's true. Everybody has something that he can do to hurt others. But do you know what has been controlling that? It develops from this stage. So somebody does you something and you wish like, if I get this person, the way I'll slap the person. Then you go like, what if I slap this person and he beats me? So at that stage, you are reasoning. Anything that comes into your mind, you think about it before doing. And that development starts at this point. Now we have something we call the superego. Now this superego contributes of period of calmness. After your ego has prompted you, then this superego will come in and let you know what can happen if you continue with what you want to do. At this stage too, the child identifies with hobbies. Okay, so that is why at other places, they identify this child is good with helping sick animals. You know where we are going. They try to push the child into the health sector. This child is always trying to prepare something, as in food or anything. You know where we are heading towards. You want to make this child a future chef, an international chef who will be cooking for big hotels. Then you see this child is always picking ball and kicking. He wants to become a footballer. So parents, we are not doing this program for nothing. We want you to watch this, identify your child's weakness, strength, interest, and start developing it. Unfortunately, we find ourselves in a certain place that parents don't give attention to what the child wants. Okay? Because he has a friend who has made the child become a lawyer. So the child too should be a lawyer. Please. And it all starts when we, the parents, don't build a good future. So we will now be making our children the target. So what the children are not even interested in, we want them to do it. It's very frustrating. It's very frustrating. Let's try, okay? Let's try to identify the child's interest and develop it from that side. Now, this period too is a time of exploring in which the sexual energy is repressed or dominant. Now, this energy is still present, but it is sublimated into other areas, such as intellectual pursuits and social interactions. So at this place, what we are talking about is the child is trying to identify something to do in life. You know what can happen here? At this stage, there's a lot of anxiety because the child is seeing a doctor, the child is seeing a teacher, the child is seeing a carpenter. So she's like, when I go, what am I going to become? That decision has become difficult to take. So as parents, as I've said before, let us be helping our children in taking such decisions. Let's continue with this aspect too. So we talked about 6 to puberty. Okay, when the child starts developing as a man or a woman. Now the child has become a woman or a man. So from this stage till death, what happens? This is when people sit back and think about what they did when they were young. It's sad that you hear that a doctor has committed suicide. Hey, this man, what did he want in life? A lawyer has committed suicide. This man, what does he want in life? You know what happened? He has come to feel that those stages that he was supposed to maybe stay with his family, care for his children, he was busy using it to work, making money. Now you finish making money and all your children are married and gone. So you feel so lonely at home. The money doesn't make sense again. So people are thinking about what they did with their lives. At this point, you can feel fulfilled. Because when you look back and see where you are, oh, my Bobra, this is the stage that people say those things. So those who didn't Bobra, you know what can happen? They'll sit there and be like, so I've wasted all these years. How can I go back? So they easily get frustrated. I'm telling you, just look in your area. Look at people who have been able to do something for their future. Compare them to those who have wasted their life all this while. Those who have wasted their life, smart and then they are angry. They easily get into fights because they are frustrated. They are looking at their friend. My friend has built a house. My friend's children are in good schools. What did I do to my life? So they are always frustrated. All too soon, we are bringing this maiden edition into an end. You know what? Just stay tuned. We'll be giving you more of this. This is all about mental health. Next time, we'll be doing something different. Thank you for watching the show. My name again, Martin Intifafa Kumoji. See you next time.